mind that. All right. So let's just do this for a few more cycles. And this, I like to point out, is minimum daily practice you could take on. Right? You could say, okay, every day I'm going to spend 2 minutes, 5 minutes, upright seat, good alignment between positive end of the battery, negative end of the battery, relax everything else, and just watch the breath. And it's like weightlifting for your mind. And so think of this training as you're training the master and commander of your nervous system. And as we add on movements of the body, that'll be simple in the beginning. And as we do more Tai Chi, it becomes more complex. But all of it flows from this mindful state. And the more you can become that master of this, a sequence, right, of from the mind through the nervous system out to the body through your practice, then the idea is that you become more and more able to deal with whatever the symptoms are that come along with PD. Now let's add our first movements. Palms on the thighs, hands slide past the kneecaps till the elbows straighten, and drop the head and push your back backwards a little bit. So if you've ever done yoga, this is like cat pose. You're rounding the back. Then slide the hands back, elbows behind you a little bit, and do the opposite. Lift your sternum, lift your chin, look up. Slide the hands forward, round. Slide the hands back, elbows back, arch. One more. Slide and round. Slide back and arch. And then settle in the middle. Rotation. Slide left hand forward past the kneecap. Slide right hand back towards the hip at the same time. And then turn the shoulders and head to the right to look behind you a little bit. And then switch, turning back to the forward position, and then rotate and look the other way. Back to the middle and rotate. Back to the middle and rotate. Just a soft, loose, easy limbering up of the moving parts of this body. You'll do one more to your left. That should be your third and final one. And then back to neutral. Arms hang, keeping the buttocks nicely anchored, just softly tip to the right. And then back to the middle. Notice that you can execute this movement with something other than force or something other than doing. It's actually getting out of the way. So we're actually softening long, letting the body fall to some degree. All right, and notice the spinal column leaning, tilting, tipping. One more each way. Just gentle, loosening, limbering up. And as we explore the extreme forward and back and side to side and rotation, what we're also doing is cultivating the middle, right? So now we come back and we're in the middle. And we can find our middle more when we explore all the areas around, all the different movements. Next movement, shoulder blades shrug up towards the ears. holding them there just for a bit, like a sponge that you're squeezing out last bits of mildew water there, and then releasing the shoulders, let the arms slide down, and that allows new nourishment, new clean water into the sponge. Let's do that again. Squeeze up through the shoulders, and then melt. And they just slide down the back. One more. So this is the upward trajectory movement of the shoulder blades and the downward movement. Now, the other sort of weirder movements of the shoulder blades, they go away from the spine. So they're moving away from the spine. Then they go back to neutral. Then we go towards the spine and back to neutral. It's called protraction and retraction. When you protract, the chest has to cave in a little bit and the shoulder blades slide away from the spine. Then we come back to neutral in the chest, neutral in the shoulder blades. And when the shoulder blades go towards the spine, like you're cracking a walnut between them, the chest has to lift. And then we're back to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Protract. Neutral. Retract. And we're back to neutral. Now the circle combines all of that. Protract to start. Then up. Shoulder blades up and the chest comes up a little bit. Shoulder blades go back like you're trying to crack that walnut, and then slide the shoulder blades down and they come to neutral. Protract. Elevate or rise up through the shoulder blades, then bring them back and towards each other and down. Let's do two more. Circle. Circle. And then we just reverse it. Retract, crack a walnut, shrug them up, roll them forward. This one's always a little more awkward, this direction, because the arms have to do something kind of funny here as we go back and up. When the shoulder blades come forward, the arms do this sort of wrap around maneuver, and then they fall back to neutral. Two more. Rolling. And rolling. And neutral. Now, take your left hand onto your right knee. Lean just a little bit to the right so the arm feels like it's hanging. And then, like a pendulum, swing the arm. So meaning down, and then it swings a little up. And then down, and it swings a little up. So it's this looseness that we're trying to cultivate here. Loose, right? Now, the next time you swing the arm forward, stay forward and go out away from the body, around and to the back. Then swing it like a pendulum forward, around, back. Forward, around the far side of a circle, and then swing. So we're letting, from this shoulder joint, this nice, easy, thorough circle happen. We take that a step further now, bring the arm a little higher up and draw that circle out to the side and down. Higher up in front. This illustrates something about our anatomy that's important. There's a lot of room this way, but when we go here, we don't crank the arm way, way behind us. We just go a teeny bit. The arm is built, the body is built for the movement to happen more in this space rather than cranking it behind us, which kinks the joint. We can force it back there, but there's a happier circle space that we can cultivate here. Finally, we're going up pretty high and draw a nice circle. Pretty high up in front, and then draw a nice circle. We're staying with that same arm. So I noticed, Brooks, it looks like you switched arms on me there. So we're just with the same arm this whole time, that right arm. We're going to switch to the other after we finish this side. And finish. Now, pendulum swing. Now, when you swing it back, stay back for a moment, go out around and come around forward, and then pendulum swing it back. Around forward, pendulum swing. What you're also cultivating here, which is a hallmark of Tai Chi and Qigong, is that this can be executed with so little effort. It can actually be done with no traditional effort, what they would call Li, or clumsy tension-based strength. Let's go a little higher and bring it forward. So the more relaxed you are, then you actually get to do it with hydraulic strength, liquid, fluid. So the more we train this fluid-based movement, the less our muscles have to get in the way. And with Parkinson's, that's a big deal. When we're tensing up, we end up creating our own obstacles. Let's go a little higher. And so you train the entire body to be moving through its ranges with none of that excess tension. Gives you a great shot at executing your movements, even with what you're dealing with. And finish. Let's go other side. Right hand to left knee, leaning over, get a little hang quality. Loose, loose, loose. And then we go swing, 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 swing. Cover that ground. So it's like a swinging down, forward, down, back, down, forward. Now from the forward, go away from the body, around to the back, and then swing. Away from the body, swing, swing. Then a little higher, up and over. Forward, and then draw a nice little circle. So we're going forward here, Brooks. And then we're going up and over a little bit to the side, letting it fall, and then swinging through forward, tracing out to the side. Now we go even higher still, just to your, whatever your comfortable place is, but stay right within that comfort zone. And pendulum swing, forward, back, forward. Now when you go back, go around to the front, swing, around, swing, loose as can be. Now let it come up a little higher, over the top, over the top. But notice we're not at our highest height. We're able to gauge, just kind of this middle range, maybe a little bit higher. So it's not all or nothing, right? It's just to there, and then a nice smooth move through. Finally, to your highest range, whatever that is, circles, circles, and done. Great job. Now we go to our next one. Folding at the elbows, fingers come up, softly touch shoulders, and then this part here, swing, and then up. So getting this looseness of wah, up, wah, up, down, up, down, up. Final one, down and up. Now stay up. Elbows out, holding here, getting a little higher if you can, elbows high, hands totally relaxed. And then melting down to the side, bring them around in front and gently press the elbows together, and notice how that opens your back. Just opening up these pathways, these canals. It's like dredging channels in the body that need to be open for us to move freely. Now elbows go back behind, right, like so. Then elbows down, elbows forward, like this. Some of you, your shoulders, this will be as far as you want to go or can go. Elbows can, over time, move up in this direction. So just go as high in this direction as you can. You're wringing out, like, again, like rags being wrung out. The chest, the upper back, the shoulder blades, all these areas that just get so stagnant. Let's go ahead forward and down, hands in front. Turn palms down and up. Notice, again, key thing to this one is this part isn't moving. The only part moving is the forearm, right? This area of the body. So down, up, down, up. It's called supination, pronation. Supination, pronation. Now, supinate and hold here. Wrists fold over the top, circle and point back out, and circle. So try to, in an isolated way, be able to control the wrists very clearly and symmetrically to make these circles. And switch, come under and over the top. And done with the upper body, shogun or closing gesture, wings. Turn your palms up, hands come up and over, and we settle, 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 settle. It's a hallmark of Qigong and Tai Chi, is this recognition that we want to do, and then we want to take a moment of not doing to let the Qi settle, the mind settle, the body settle. And then we do again. Let the arms come down and hang. Now, scoot a little bit back on the chair so you're very sturdy in that chair. Then make your little Tai Chi boxer fists. It's just a soft fist. You're not clenching it hard. Soft fist, it retains its mobility. Now, shift to your right butt cheek, that right sits bone, and you're going to lift left leg. Set it down. Shift to the other butt cheek, left butt cheek, lift the right leg. Set it down, shift, lift, shift, lift. Set it down, shift, and lift. Now lift, push. Return to that lifted position called chamber, push again. Chamber, push, one more. Chamber, push. We're using all these joints, right? Chamber and set it down. Other side, chamber, 4 pushes. Heel push kick and reverse. Push kick, reverse. Push, reverse. One more. One more set to each side. Chamber, push, reverse. So try to get a full complete extend, a full drawing back, a full extend. Remember, this is for the brain as much as anything else. Finish and finish. Switch, push, return, push, return, push, return, push, return, down. Now, just extend your left foot out at a comfortable height. Point foot, flex foot. Point foot, flex foot. So let's get that ankle. Then this little weird movement, invert, evert. The foot just kind of a little out, a little in. It's just right at the ankle. Then circles, inward, whole and complete, circles. Outward, whole and complete, circles. And switch legs, put that down, just extend this one at a nice comfortable angle. Point, flex. Again, the brain connecting, executing clean movement. In and out, or invert, evert. Little sort of waggle of the foot. And then circles. 4 or 5 each direction, go the other way. And down. Scoot again all the way to the front edge of your chair. Now, we'll keep the heels on the ground but lift the balls of the feet off the ground. Hands on your inner knees, open, knees and toes away from each other. This is external rotation from the hip socket. So notice your pelvis, your navel, everything is still pointing straight ahead, but the legs have corkscrewed open. Then lift the toes again and bring it back to neutral. Now, notice that you can lift the toes and go to inwardly rotate, right? Notice my toes pigeon toe in and my knees go in. So my knees feel very, very happy to be here, and I'm inwardly rotating in the hip socket. Let's go neutral, external. Holding external. Feel that open space here through the inner thighs, the groin, sort of wringing out the hips. Let's go back to neutral. And then internal rotation. Lift the toes, create this little inward rotation. It's like a little squeeze to the lymph nodes in the inguinal region or the groin region. Body likes that, body needs that. Now skip neutral and just go external and back to internal. External, back to internal. Two more. One more. And neutral. Very good. Forward folds, like you're bowing. Hinge deeply at the hip crease. And then sit back to vertical. Lean back from the hips. And vertical. Hinge. Vertical. Lean back. Vertical. One more. Fold. Sit upright. Leaning back. And sitting upright. Shogun, closing. So that closes our lower body exercises. So we've warmed up the upper, warmed up the lower. Now we're going to stand up and sit down. And then we're going to stand up and stay up and do some work there. All right. So slide your feet back a bit so that this is not a 90-degree angle. This is less than a 90, right? You've made it a tighter angle. And to stand up, just do this for a moment. Tip forward. And notice you can get your shoulders and head to start to go beyond the knees, beyond the toes. And notice you can do that with no effort. And then sit back upright again. Again, fold. Now from here to go to standing, all we need to do is just keep going forward. And then the butt's off the chair. And then you try to go up. The biggest mistake people make trying to stand up is they try to go up too soon. Going down, the butt goes back, head and shoulders forward, and then we think about going down. Land the butt and sit back to vertical. Again, when I'm working with folks, what I see them do is they go, okay, time to stand up, and they gear up with all this energy and try to go do it instead of melt. Melt towards this position first. Then just apply a little bit of effort. Boink. And then up you go. Right? So it's a trick. I got to let someone in here. It's literally just like a body trick. Let's do it again on the way down. Same idea. It's just about melting, folding in half, sinking the tush, landing it. And that can all be executed without any of that tension that becomes a problem, especially with Parkinson's, right? So again, how little effort can you use to stand? And that is a great example of how we want to do all the things in Tai Chi. We want to see, can I execute that with liquid so that I'm not getting in my own way? Final time, stand up. Just easy, easy. Standing up. Let me adjust my camera. Okay. Now that we're standing, let's just do a couple squats where we go to sit down, but then we don't. Sink, and then go, oh no, I'm not going to. Stand back up. Sink. And stand. And just note that there is a way, especially if you train, to just, it's just effortless. It's like sliding through movement. One more. Just sliding down. And the joints love it if you do it right. The joints are overjoyed to be being used in this manner. Okay, so now we're standing and your feet, relax them and let yourself just tip a little bit forward so that you feel yourself more in the balls of your feet. Then come back to the middle. Then feel yourself go a little more to the heels. That one's one to be careful of, right? That's why the chair is there. And then tip yourself to the middle and then forward a little bit. Notice again, this can be executed with no effort, no tension-based strength. It's just the mind rearranging the liquid in the body. Let the arms be as loose as they can. Find the middle again. Tai Chi. From the middle, we do rising hands. So rock to your heels a little bit. The arms swing back. And now as you rock to your toes, let the arms swing forward and up. And then the hands change their position, fingertips slightly pointing up. And then as they come down, we rock a little towards the heels. Let the arms swing back. So we swing and rock, sliding up. And sliding back. Rock forward and swing and rise up. And just softly change position. Slide down. Up. Last one. Now on this one, as the hands come down, we change to low cradle, right in front of you. Out to the side. Hands change position, sweep down. Soft scoop underneath. Wings. Sweep down. So whenever I say wings or wing out that arm, what I mean is opening from this gate and just letting the arms be out there loose as can be. But it's really because this space here is opening, almost like it's a balloon in that space, opening and then coming back down. So that eventually keeping your arms up in space isn't a matter of strength at all. It's a matter of space. It's a matter of allowing for space. And so it's almost like levitation. The body starts to feel like it's levitatable. And back down. Now sweep the arms out once more. Once they get to the top, turn palms up, fold at the elbows, the hands come over top, and then we settle down through. Wings, turn palms up, roll, and then fold and settle. Now we add a bit of challenge to that. Wings, right hand, roll. As the right hand folds, the left hand does the opposite crane wing movement, and they come towards each other. Here is called embrace the moon. Then they separate from each other. Let's just do this separation portion just a couple of times so we can calibrate the brain. Can you have both one hand moving down and the other hand moving up at a similar rate so that they arrive near each other and move away from each other? It's this asymmetry that's all inside of Tai Chi practice. Now on this one, we'll go for it. Keep separating. Now the right hand goes up and over the top, back out to the wing as the left hand wings. They arrive here. Left hand turn palm up. Now as it folds, right hand sweeps under and they come towards each other. Do a couple of these open and closes. Open, close. Open, close. Now let's ride the wheel. We go open, so we hit this point here. Then from that point we go out and we hit this point here. Then we roll this right hand and now we fold. We hit this point and then we go to this point. So it's like connect the dots and you want them to arrive same time, same time, same time, and same time. Let's do one more each without the stops. See if you can mark those points and notice if one went faster than the other or if you lost track of one along the way. And down. Bring both hands up in front of you. Turn the palms forward-ish. Push. A Tai Chi push stops right about here as opposed to lock and firmly do that. So feel this idea that when you push, there's a point at which you keep a fluidity all the way through. Turn the palms around, back. So a lot of times what people are doing incorrect in their movement, it's like going too far. Sometimes people aren't going far enough with the movement, but there's this place in Tai Chi that you find that's finished and complete, even though you could force it further and back. Push and back. Now, keep right hand here, left hand turns palm forward, push the left hand only out. And then just switch the hand. So this is where it becomes asymmetrical. So left palm faces your body now, right palm turns to face forward, push and draw. And then both the palms change and then push and draw. Change, push and draw. Change, push, draw. Push, draw. Push, draw. Last one. And keep the left hand back, bring the right hand back. Down. Now, standing. Body weight shifts more to the right leg. Feel the left leg empty. Then shift across and go all the weight in the left leg. Right leg is empty. Shift. Shift. Change. So now this upper body, we did all those movements so that these can be loose and limber and relaxed, and that the chest can be empty. So now we're letting the chi sort of sink and the awareness sink, so that we're really just kind of melting our way over to this leg, this one becoming empty, melting our way over to this leg, this one becoming empty. Now take an index finger, place it inside or on top of your belly button. Change your weight to your left leg, and then turn your belly button a couple degrees to the left. Keep it turned that way as you shift to the right leg, and then turn the belly button to the right. Keep it turned to the right as you shift to the left leg, and then turn to the left. Keep it turned left as you shift to the right, turn to the right. Let your arms hang, shift to the left, turn to the left. Shift to the right, turn to the right. So these loose and limber arms, fingers, will probably, if you let them, start doing somewhat like what I'm doing here, called the bear washing paws in the stream. So I'll come a little closer and you can see when I go this way, this hand is palm turned that way, and that's called brush knee. And this hand is turned that way as well, sweep the leg. And then they change positions, brush and sweep. Brush, sweep. Now, as our shoulders and everything limbers up, this will become what's called the bear swirls the stream. The shoulder open, the arm wants to kind of go around the far side of a circle and come in close. And then around the far side of a circle and come in close, but keep it in the water. By that I mean, don't lift the hand up yet. So remember at the beginning of class when I had us doing the pendulum swing and we were here, and then we lifted it higher round by round. That's what we're doing here. Swing, circles. So this is swirling the stream, and then it becomes snatch the fish. The fish are now jumping a little bit. So this hand raises and comes across and then falls back into the water. Raises, cross. Raise and cross. And we're still doing weight change to the left leg, turn to the left, let the limbs swing. Weight change. And Greg, make sure you do this here with the arm that swung across. It finishes the circle. It comes into the body and does a brush knee, while this one goes around. And then it comes in close. So they complete an entire circle, right? If I were doing this with one arm, this is the path of the arm, not out and back and out and back, right? So that's a common mistake people make there. Around and in, around and in, around and in, right? Now a little higher. Bear snatching the fish. And the better you get at this, the more you allow from the middle of this body, the arm to swing and get a satisfying reach across, reach across, reach, reach, reach. And back to the bear washing paws. Now, as you go to your left leg, stay in the left, wing. So all these technical terms that you're somewhat familiar with now, roll, fold. This hand is in the water ready for a brush knee. Now notice, Brooks, you're folded like this. You want it to be here, more like a push. So remember, we just practiced the push. This is ready for a push. We go shift, turn, brush, and push. So brush and push. Then they change jobs. This roll and fold happens, and we're ready to shift, turn, brush, push. They change positions. Top hand roll and folds, ready for a push. This is ready for a brush. We go shift and turn, brush and push. And we let them go through, shift and turn, brush and push. And one of the main goals here is to have everything loaded up. We're in the leg, we're turned, everything's ready, and then all as one, we move and let the hands go through. So it's almost an optical illusion. My hands don't really move by themselves. Still they haven't until I'm done with the rotation. Then I let them go. So it's weight shift from right to left, or from left to right, then turn in the middle, then the hands. And this can be executed with ease. With ease. Now, the next time you're in your left, stay in your left leg. Your right foot being a little empty there, turn the toes out, shift your weight onto that right leg, bring the right hand down, bend the left elbow, pointing the fingers to the sky, and touch out in front, right, with that left foot. The golden rooster stands on one leg. Check in with tail. Don't let your butt be sticking back like this. Keep it down through the earth like so. Crown up, right? Now, lift and lower. Just notice if when you did that, you had to pull back dangerously, that means you need to just sit better through that back leg and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And some of you might lift and hold. Golden rooster on one leg. Now, set the foot down, heels touching, toes pointed out, change sides. Shift the weight to the left leg, left hand comes down, bend right elbow, right fingertips point up, and then touch the floor out in front of you a little bit. So this could be your whole posture right here. Just challenging, putting a little extra work here, build that stamina. Over time, you feel like, oh, this is empty. I can lift and lower without a whole bunch of craziness in the body. And then someday you can lift and hold. And all the same components that I was talking about in meditation. Perineum, negative end of the battery. Top here, the positive end of the battery. Keeping that all lined up. So we're basically meditating right here. Set that foot down, heels touching, toes out. Switch. Change the weight. Change the hands, touch the toe out, or lift the leg. And let's change again. Put the foot down, heels touching, toes out. Change the weight. Toe touch or lift. Put the foot down, nothing changes, right? No weight in the leg. And then when I shift, everything changes. Put the foot down, nothing changes. Then shift the weight, everything changes. Foot down, nothing changes. Shift, everything changes. Once more. And down. Go back to the bear washing pause. Parallel your feet. Shift and turn. So this is kind of our home base, this little movement right here. And we can go into a lot of different positions and directions from there. Now, the next time you come across, right hand stays in the water, left hand sweeps the lake, turns into vapor and rises up. It's right about chest height, back of hand facing the camera. Shift to the left, turn to the left, top hand is a cloud, bottom hand sweeps the lake. Clouds rain down, the lake vapors up, they change jobs. Shift to the right leg, turn to the right leg, cloud and lake, and then cloud rains as lake vapors, they change positions. Shifting, turning. Vapor and rain. So as there's that same optical illusion that usually when I'm teaching people this stuff, the first thing they do when they see movement is they try to lead with the hands, as opposed to the shift starts the movement. Then the turn of the torso carries the movement. And then at the end, I let the hands finish. And the same on the way back. It's the changing from leg to leg. Then it's the turning at the middle. Then it's the hands. Also, another thing that's happening, Brooks, real quick, change that. Put your right hand up. Yeah, left hand down. And also, Stephanie, what's happening is it looks like your down hand is sort of going limp and you're only paying attention to the upper hand. So keep an eye on, a mind on this hand going through the lake. So the cloud and the lake. And then the rain and the vapor, right? So now Brooks' left hand goes up, right hand comes down, right? Now that you've changed the position, we go across. So it's the shift and the turn. And then it's right hand rising, left hand falling. And then it's shift and it's turn. And then it's left hand rising, right hand falling. Remember, the movement's an optical illusion to some degree, almost like a mannequin on a spinning stand or something, right? It's like, it looks like the hands are moving, and they are, but not because you're moving the hands separately. It's because everything's connected, right? And that's what makes Tai Chi have that beautiful look. And a lot of you guys are having it right now. It's beautiful, right? It has this oneness, this evenness to it. All right, now let's all meet over where you're in your right leg. Left hand down here at the bottom. Let's put the right hand behind the back. Now we're learning, this is the newer move to most of you. The hand has to go away from the body, from this opposite hip, and then as we shift and turn, it does the flying diagonal. So it ends up at this upward corner over here. Turn the palm out, wing, like a crane wing. So we know the crane wing, we know the sweep the lake, and we know the bottom of a ball, like when we did this position, right? So now it goes away from the body, shift and turn, and it carries up and across, flying diagonal. Turn the palm out, crane wing, which is a familiar piece, sweep the lake, familiar, bottom of a ball, familiar, and then that novel one, away, up, and across. Wing, sweep. Let's do two more with this. Work on the idea, this is called the ridge hand. So it's not leading with the back of the hand, it's leading with this index thumb side, like you're carrying something in the palm all the way. Turn the palm, sweep down. So you should be left hand there, Brooks, left hand, across to your right hip, down here. And then it goes from this hip away from the body in a sort of saber arc up into this corner. Sweep that hand down. Bring the right hand out. Let's bear wash pause to the other side. Left hand behind your back. Right hand now is at the front of the left hip, and it goes away from the body and then diagonally up. Turn the palm out, wing, sweep the lake, bottom of a ball. The hand goes like forward and away. So that's why I'm emphasizing that. It goes towards the camera and then around and up. Palm turns out, wing, lake, bottom of ball, flying diagonal. The hand goes towards the camera and around and up. Palm out. Sweep down the wing, then across the lake, underneath. Again, so Brooks, do this right with me. Go towards the camera, it's out. And then around and up, but keep that palm facing up the whole way, right? So it's not a backhand, it's this position. Yeah. There it is. Beautiful. And then the palm turns out, sweeps down. That's the crane wing. It sweeps across the lake. The palm faces up. And so the palm stays in this position the whole way. Great. And it's a great little training for this, all the little muscles in the shoulder. Turn the palm out, sweep down. One more. Flying diagonal. Remember the palm position. And back down. Now we're going to take that one step further. The bear washes paws back to the middle. Take your left hand, put it underneath the ball. Right hand over the top of the ball. Now, parallel to the floor, there's two little train tracks. You want bottom and top hand to go along their own respective train track. Back, forth. Two train tracks. Now those train tracks, turn them at a slight diagonal and do those train tracks. So that the left hand is going from low to high, the right hand is going from high to low, but they're staying on those two train tracks, right? Notice that your bottom hand is essentially doing the exercise we were just working on, right? That flying diagonal. The top hand is doing the opposing movement, sort of a downward karate chop. This is called parting the wild horse's mane. Now we'll take it one step further. Go to the end point here. Turn left palm out like we've done before, but this time turn right palm up, and remember, embrace the moon. Left hand goes down, right hand goes up. Then left hand sweeps the lake as right hand falls over top. Part the wild horse's mane. So that diagonal with the karate chop, and then turn left palm out, right palm up. Just rotate the palms there, and then it's back to here. Part wild horse mane. Turn left palm out, right palm up. Now, as you embrace the moon, this movement, shift to the right leg, turn the torso a little bit to the right, winding up. Part wild horse mane. So you shift left, turn left, and execute that beautiful movement. Great job, everybody. Turn left palm out, right palm up. As you do this, embrace moon, shift the weight back to the right, turn slightly to the right, winding up, and then part the wild horse's mane. Turn the palms and reverse. So even though we're going ups and downs, lefts and rights, all this, keep idea of the middle. So you never lose your middle. You don't go too far in any direction, which would take you off of your middle. The middle is energetically, they say, 2.5 inches deep to the belly button. So if you went with your finger in your belly button and deeper into your belly, that's where they say our energetic center is. And so we really are moving from there. Last one, parting wild horse's mane. And eventually you do these movements while walking, while turning, right? So we got to get comfortable with this, and then we can add challenge. Now, right hand goes out, left hand turns, the bear washes paws. Back to the middle. Right hand bottom of circle, left hand top of circle, 2 train tracks. Train tracks. Parallel to the floor train tracks first. So we can get this sort of calibrated movement. And then turn that train track diagonal. So now we're doing more like that parting wild horse mane movement, that flying diagonal plus the downward karate chop. One more. Then on this one, we go for the full circle, where at the end here, right palm turns out, left palm turns up, one down, one up. They switch, right? So whichever one was high has to come down, whichever one was low goes up. Sweep the leg and fold over top. Part wild horse mane. That's one diagonal, one down karate chop. Turn palm out, other palm up, embrace moon, which is the wing, sweep leg, because the other hand rises and folds over. Now shift left, turn left, we're wound up, right? Turn and wound up with potential energy, and then we express that. Shift, turn, express, but cultivate the middle. Turn those palms as you embrace moon. Left hand up, right hand down, shift and turn, and that sort of winds us up. And then part wild horse mane. Looks really nice, everybody. Turn those palms, shift, turn, wind it up. It again has that optical illusion quality, that we're moving more from the middle and this turning, and then the arms and hands are like orbiting planets. But by operating from the middle, we can create these beautiful and thorough movements. Changing leg each time, finding a little rotation, not too much, but just enough, and then changing leg and finding that rotation, cultivating your middle, And our last challenge with this, flying diagonal. So go all the way to here. And then from here, bring left hand across the lake, sweep. Right hand falls over top. Now we do the other way. Part wild horse. Stay in your left leg, sweep right hand, fold left hand over. Part wild horse man. Sweep left hand under, right hand over. We're going to do this just a few more times, but try to do it with less and do it half the speed. So last person there wins. So I'm going very slowly, but I'm not stopping movement. So that's the other rule, is that execute the movement slow but smooth. They use the concept of reeling silk. Reeling silk. Sweep left hand across, right hand falls over top. Then part that wild horse's mane. Sweep right hand under, left hand over top. And then part that wild horse's mane. Once more to the ball. Then right hand down, turn left hand. Bear washes paws. Back. Middle. Shogun, wings, roll palms up, fold, and then think of this as just a closing down of the practice, an invitation for your energy that you've circulated and percolated to come to settle again in that place deep to the navel. We officially close the practice with one hand over belly, other hand over that hand, relaxed elbows, relaxed shoulders, comfortable breathing. And then our finishing self-massage. Hands come onto the groin area, pubic area, hips, rub up and down. Follow that path over the hips, over the buttocks to the tailbone. From the tailbone, rub up onto the hip muscles, love handles, and lumbar spine. Then take the hands down, and this part's a little tricky, like a squat. We sit the butt back, slide the hands down the outside of the legs, imaginarily around the feet to the inner ankles, and then stand back up. They come up all the way to the belly. Go around from the belly back to the tailbone and lumbar spine. It's known as the Ming Men, the door of life. And then we again, butt goes back and sinks like we're going to sit in our chair. Hands go down, come around to the inner. As you stand up, the hands nicely come up the inside to the belly button. Go around once more. Rub Ming Men, lumbar spine, low back muscles down to the tail, and then down the outside of the legs as you do a little squat. Hands sweep around, come up the inside, all the way to the belly. And then for the arms, up the outer arm all the way to the shoulder. Turn that palm up, sweep down and off. Turn that palm down, sweep up the outside. Turn the palm up, down the inside. So this arm turns and turns while this hand just sweeps up, sweeps down, right? So it's up the outside, down the inside. Up, and notice you can go over the shoulder, and then it naturally flows right over the top and down. And switch. Up the outside, turn, down the inside. Up the out, turn, down the in. So we do the same arm about 5 to 9 times, something like that. And one final shogong or closing gesture. And seal. 1, 2. And then this little mudra or hand position, the Taoist Mudra, which I really like. Just grab one thumb, fold the fingers over, creates a little yin-yang looking symbol, right? Like the yin and the yang melding into each other. So that has that meaning of balancing our energies, balancing positive, negative, all of that. And then, thank you. Well done. If there are any questions, feel free to chat for a little bit. I know some of you have places you got to be, so you can wander off. You just wave and say bye-bye if you need to.